Film School Slacker contains adult language and themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Film School Slacker, the podcast where I go through my ever-growing watch list of films, and with me, as usual, is my friend Megan.
Hey, that's me.
Hey, Megan.
I'm here.
How are you doing?
I am alive.
Yeah, that's the best anyone can ask for right now.
It's been a week at work, and I could really use some wine and a movie and hanging with my bestie.
I think we have that in store today.
Yes.
What are we watching today, Megan?
We are watching Bottle Shock from 2008, rated PG-13, 1 hour 50 minutes long, 50.
Nice.
Starring Chris Pine, Alan Rickman, Bill Pullman, Dennis Farina, Halby Klein, Freddie Rodriguez, Philippe Bergeron, Jean-Michel Richaud, among others.
So it's about wine.
A little bit. Directed by Randall Miller. Written by Jody Savin, Randall Miller, Ross Schwartz, and Lynette Pabon.
All right.
Pabon? P-A-B-O-N.
Okay, so I do know, this is the extent of what I know about this movie.
Love it.
Is it has to do with California wine entering like the international stage of wine.
Yep.
Okay. That's basically all I know about it.
That's a good place to start.
Okay.
It's more specifically about a blind taste testing.
Oh, and it was a shock because the bottle was Californian.
You'll find out the shock has a couple different meanings.
Okay. Is it accurate, or is that something we'll get into?
It's accurate.
Okay.
It's I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
But it was the blind Paris wine tasting of 1976 that has become to be known as the Judgement of Paris.
Oh.
And yeah, it's this is just like a quirky, kind of fun, low key comedy.
Yeah.
With Alan Rickman.
Amazing.
And Chris Pine.
Crisp Ein.
And I don't know, Aaron introduced me to it.
Okay.
A long ass time ago, but it was definitely on, I don't remember which movie, but one of the DVDs I had a preview, for this.
For it. Yeah. Y'all remember previews? Sit down, children.
Gather around the campfire, children.
Back in the day, sorry, I don't want to steal a whole bit, but
coming soon in 2008 or in theaters spring 2003.
Before you got to the DVD menu, there were unskippable DVD previews that you'd have to watch for the movie you purchased.
Oh man,
to get to the movie you wanted to watch. What a time!
What a time to be alive,
truly.
Ben.
And we loved it. I
loved it.
And the worst
I also
part is,
love it. I still love it because I haven't watched a DVD in fucking forever.
Right.
See our Dogma episode for that whole saga.
Literally. Also, just listen to our Dogma episode. It's great.
We just went and saw Dogma
recently
at the Alamo Draft House. It was great.
It was a good time.
It was really fun. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Watching a DVD, I like those little bits of nostalgia.
Totally.
Because if you watch if you watch a VHS and it has the previews in the front in the beginning of the movie,
it's so good.
Oh,
be kind, rewind. Yeah.
Like, what I wouldn't give to, I'm sure it exists on the internet somewhere, but like a compilation of of all those
coming soon to own.
Video and DVD.
My favorites were the ones that were movies that were old, but they were recently being re-released on. So like the one I had for a long time was Ferris Bueller. That would show up in the beginning of everything for a while. Ugh, what a good time.
Ugh, nostalgia.
I love it.
Anyway.
All right. Well, with that being said, I guess let's just go ahead and roll the film.
Roll it. I guess pop the cork.
Ooh,
because it's about
nice
wine.
Pop. Yeah,
nice
absolutely.
Pop.
Yeah, we've got some red wine. It'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll it.
Roll it.
So I thought this movie was about wine and not cars. Because I don't know, it felt like a movie about cars to me after all this.
So many cars.
Like, it was weird how much effort they put into the cars.
And like 2 of these cars break down on the side of the road.
Yes.
Which I'm pretty sure was the same road.
Yes.
Because they had only
afforded being able to close one road. Like, and I don't mean that in like a disparaging way, because I actually really enjoyed the cars. It was just interesting to see how much effort they put into like all of the places they visited with the cars. Like, it was so cool. I don't know.
It was a lot of, like, the cars were like part of the set almost.
Yeah.
Which I've never thought about, but
they were. I almost feel like they were characters. Like, the cars were characters in this movie. When you were in the U.S., it was either you had an old Ford truck, right? That was totally rusty. Like, there was no paint left on it.
The rusted out Ford trucks.
Right. Or you were looking at, like, a new car for the 70s, which was the AMC Gremlin, which was absolutely chef's kiss. I have no notes. That was perfect. I kind of want one. And then you go to France, and because they couldn't actually afford to shoot in France, all they could do was take imported French cars as their method of showing it. And they had a bunch of like old Citroens and a bunch of old like French cars. Yeah. And French cars are very distinctive. And so like it was a bunch of French cars. Like, it was a movie, all the storytelling was done through cars, and it was not what I was expecting, but it was kind of fun. I had a good time.
It was really fun to watch you watch the cars.
Yeah. It's just like, aw. Look at Ian go, just enjoying his cars. Look at that guy. Yeah, give him a little glass of wine. Look at it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like pointing with a glass of something, pointing at the screen. You've seen that? Like, I don't remember what movie it's from. It's probably Django Unchained or something.
Yeah,
where he's like squinting and looking. Yeah, and that was me with a glass of wine looking at all the cars. It was great. It was such a good time.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was cute. It was a cute film. It was
I told you, it's like a little quirky, kind of funny story about something that actually happened.
I think it was well cast. I think it was well shot. I think it was underwritten. Yeah. And I think that the editing couldn't make up for that. Yeah. There was some kind of goofy, like, I'm like, it felt like the editing was trying to not lead the audience on. Like, the editing didn't get in the way, which I thought was good, but that made the script choices a little more obvious. Yeah. Like, there was things that were just kind of felt missing to me. Yeah. That's kind of my only real critique. Like, at this point, like, I thought it felt like visually, it felt very Napa Valley. It had a fun 70s vibe. It was well, produced. It was fun for the I think especially for the budget. Yeah. And knowing that they paid Alan Rickman, my God, and Bill Pullman
and early career Chris Pine.
Right. I don't know how much he cost then, but still. Yeah, like, he was still off-brand Fabio. It was fine.
I probably bet his wig cost more than he did. And it was not a great wig.
It was not a good wig.
Sorry.
So. Yeah, like, I think that was kind of my only critique, because the rest of it was just really fun. Yeah. But I guess we can get into my notes.
Let's get into your notes.
Yeah, love a good notes moment.
Because I have had 2 glasses of wine and can't really focus on anything anymore.
Amazing.
So notes.
My first note is, it's an indie film from the way it is.
The way it is.
And the number of production companies listed at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's always, it's like, they're all like, Grace Point, like, weird, like, the goofy, I wish I would have written some of them down, but they were so funny.
There was one that was like like a half pipe skateboard thing.
Yes, and they're all loud. They're all different volumes. Like, and like, this is clearly like, they're just like, oh God, I have to put all these, like, the poor editor at the end, just like throwing everyone's fucking shit at the beginning. It's
and
so
then the credits had all the names had drop shadows.
Yes, the opening credits with the drop shadows.
I don't think I like these drop shadows.
Oh man. Oh, and getting into the drop shadows, it was like Bill Pullman shows up, and I wrote, not Bill Paxton.
Not Bill Paxton.
Legally not Bill Paxton.
Legitimately, because Bill Pullman's still alive.
Correct. Oof.
Womp womp.
And he doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't have a sex voice go back to our Titanic episode if you want to hear about the sex phase.
I don't like. So Bill Pullman is one of those. Like he usually plays like, I don't know. To me, he plays like comic relief. Like. Yeah, I don't want to say nice guy, but like the conventional guy kind of characters.
He's the straight man.
He's the straight man. Yeah. Because in Sleepless in Seattle, which is on the list,
it is,
and
yes.
we will get there.
We will.
He plays Meg Ryan's fiance. That
He's
she ends
the
up
other leaving for.
That she's leaving for Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, sure. Sure.
Which.
He's always the other guy.
He's always the nice guy that the love interest leaves for the other guy.
Honestly, like, not to no spoilers, but like that's sort of like what he does to his own fucking wine in this movie. So fair enough. He Meg Ryan's his own wine in this movie.
He does. He kind of kicks it out.
He's like, this wine is too good for me. It has to go and get married to Chris Pine or Alan Rickman or something.
In Paris.
Shit. Yeah. I'm so sad. I'm angsty. I'm Bill Pullman.
His son is like a carbon copy of him.
Yeah.
And he's crazy attractive. And it's weird that he's younger than I am by like 2 months.
Amazing. That's so funny.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I mean, whatever. It's 2 months. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
Lewis Pullman.
Hey there.
Let me sit on your face. What?
Oh, no, I was going to say come on our podcast, but please don't. If that's what's happening, I don't want you to come on my podcast. No, don't come on my podcast. No, thank you. That can happen off mic.
Sorry.
Jesus. And that next note is the drop shadow is bad.
I don't like because I'm just at work, you know, I'm looking at all this creative stuff that we're doing for the events that we run. And I'm like, I've got more of that eye now, I think. And I'm like, I hate this drop shadow.
I hate that. Well,
I really hate it.
It's not reactive.
I'm noticing it.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
It's not reactive to the
background.
Right.
It adds
can't be,
nothing.
No, it's just there. And drop shadow quit becoming cool in about like 2011.
Thank God.
Yeah, and the 2008 to me is still like a little late for them to be doing drop shadow, but I feel like they were just like, oh, my Avid rig has drop shadow, so I'm going to use it.
I'm going to use it.
Yeah, ridiculous.
We rented this Avid rig
for like 2 weeks. We have to do this thing done.
I'm doing everything I possibly fucking can. I'm getting my money's worth.
Seriously. Oh, we're already onto the Doobie Brothers.
It was 1976 after all.
Right. It was like all Doobie Brothers.
All Doobie Brothers all the time.
Oh my God.
I love the 70s radio.
Bill Pullman shows up and it's just like, oh, they wanted Martin Sheen, but they couldn't get him. They wanted a younger Martin Sheen.
He did have like young Martin Sheen energy and hair.
Like seriously,
his haircut. I don't know what it is, but just the way they cut it was very blunt, like Martin Sheen usually had.
The note that they had, like I swear they gave him a note. It's like Bill Pullman comes on set and they're just like, all right, so we have one note for you. Just be Martin Sheen.
We need you to be more Sheeny.
Right.
Charlie Sheen? No.
Martin.
Let's
be
go with
Martin Sheen, but like when he was like 35.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, okay.
In like that movie he did.
Right. You know the one.
The
we know, but we.
No, that's gonna bug me. Not West Wing Martin Sheen, but I'm looking it up because I have to do that, because if I don't, it's gonna bug me.
No, I understand.
And I will cry.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen. Apocalypse Now.
Ah, yes, the classic. I
didn't know he was in The Departed.
The Departed.
Are you a co-op?
If you're a co-op, you have to tell me. I should see Apocalypse Now. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Let's put it on the list. Or we both get a point.
I do love him in friggin' West Wing.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Classic Sorkin.
Like, I want to vote Jed Bartlett for president, honestly. And it's just Martin Sheen playing Jed Bartlett. Right. I'd be okay with that.
Fair enough. I don't see your name on the list, which is the worst thing a French person can say to you.
Oh God, it's like just take out a knife and stab me.
Right. Honestly, I have, considering that we have just watched Dogma.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to do a little back-to-back Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Because, it's just fun to see him not as Snape, you know?
Yeah, he had a whole career outside of Harry Potter.
He was a well-established actor.
He was a well-established actor.
It's fun because he's a fucking good actor.
He is very good.
I feel like he was like most of the actors in this movie were punching above the movie, which I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that was like all of the money on this movie was spent on the actors, and I'm kind of okay
honestly
with that.
think some of the actors were like, they knew one of the producers or the director or something, and they're like, "We'll do this. I'll do this for cut rate. Like
they got a discount on Alan Rickman." Yeah. No, I feel like that's the thing. He's just like, but I actually do like wine. Like whatever.
Yeah.
It's like something happened, and yeah, it's great. I enjoyed it. Sitting, and then he gets in, and he's sitting by the kitchen door
and keeps getting hit with the kitchen door,
which is kind of real. Like, have you ever been sat by the kitchen door before? Like oh God,
I'm too pretty for that.
Did you show him your tits, Megan? Did you show him your tits?
No.
Okay. Maybe one. Just not one. It's not the White House.
Just a little. It's not the White House. I just showed him one.
No, I there was one time that I remember I was sat by the kitchen door with somebody, but the story I remember the best is somebody went to Spoon and Stable.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember who it was. It was my parents.
Oh man.
Somebody. It was like a special event, and they got sat by the fucking kitchen, and it wasn't like the door would slam in their faces.
Yeah, it wasn't
right?
like a malicious thing.
Right, but it was like so aggressively
like you
busy
just
right there.
Reached into the kitchen and grabbed your meal.
And so many people were running so close to their table they could just like grab desserts from it was
hilarious.
Like it was so ridiculous. And they were just like, yeah, that wasn't as good as everyone said it was. I'm like, that's fair. But it's also Spoon Stable is only
I've only been there once, and it was my birthday, and we knew the bartender, so we got like a bunch of drinks. We had 3 desserts that were free.
I think I've only been there once. I know for sure I was there once. I was there with my old roommate and current friend Devrick.
Oh.
Yeah, we went, and just because he's at the time Spoon Stable was very hot. It was very hot. And he was living in Chicago, working for a couple of it was I don't know if he was still at the Linea Group or he was with this next group for Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty well known in the Chicago scene as well. And I know that whole crew was like super hot for Gavin Kaysen at the time.
Oh yeah.
And so like he came to this. I'm like, well, I go on to talk. I'm like, well, there's a reservation tonight, and he's just like, and
we must go.
We must go. So we did, and it was we had a delightful time.
Yeah.
But also, I was with Devrick, which is always not fair to judge a life experience when you're with Devrick because he's got the sparkle.
Yeah.
And people just do stuff.
People love
you.
him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Right. How can you not?
He's delightful.
It's unfair. Yeah. So anyway, moral of the story is we had like free shit and stuff, and there's no reason for that except for it was just Devrick and whatever. Yeah. It's fine. I'm still not salty about it after all these years. The number of free things I got living with Devrick was ridiculous.
I love it.
This is a business Maurice. Maurice is my favorite character.
He's
from Milwaukee, and I love him.
He's from Milwaukee.
He's living in Paris,
running a limo tour business.
I love him.
Good for him.
He's amazing.
Wearing the most outrageous suits possible.
Exactly.
And that's saying something because it's the 1970s.
So it was big for
the era of outrageous suits.
Exactly.
I've seen pictures.
I've seen pictures. I've seen pictures of my own family. It's insane.
Yeah, same.
Crazy.
Grandpa, what were you doing?
What were you doing? And everyone's shorts were too short. Like, it was a whole thing.
Oh, I love that the 5-inch inseam is coming back.
Oh, no. My whole dad's side of the family, they were doing that well into the late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
short shorts.
And my dad's like, okay, so here's the thing. He's like, I lived in podunk nowhere in Minnesota. Yeah. And he's like, we just like, everything came to us later.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't know about short shorts until about 1984.
Yeah. I feel like they were pretty popular into the 80s too.
They were. They definitely were. I just like making fun of him.
Oh yeah.
It's my own.
Absolutely. Go for it. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. I'm so sorry.
That's this weekend.
Hey, Mike, it's me again. How you doing, bud?
Hi, Dad. Love you. Thanks for listening
It's good.
to my
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm both glad you're here and also I'm so sorry.
I'm also sorry. Not that sorry. It's you chose to listen to
Yeah,
it.
that's on you,
Whatever.
I guess. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Speaking of dads, jump cutting to Bo and Jim just freaking boxing in a ring out in the middle of the thing.
Like, I can't decide if this is like a healthy way to express aggression or if like if it's like just crazily unhealthy, but they're actually like talking about things while they're hitting each other.
Right.
And it's consensual hitting.
It is.
So it's like, I don't know how to feel about this.
I'm willing to take it as their way of coping.
Oh yeah.
Because it does seem like that they are both not hurting each other seriously. Like they really don't seem like they're actually hurting each other seriously. Yeah. And
it's not like they're going full Muhammad Ali on each other.
Right.
They're just
tussling.
fucking around, and they just have energy that they need to burn.
And they made a point like later when he ends up with the racist truck driver and he pops him one and he ends up with like a shiner.
Yeah.
That doesn't show up. Like that you don't see the same kinds of damage when they are fighting each other.
Yeah.
And if like they're just like, hey, you want to go fight? Then like I think that's I don't know. I'll give it to him. It's the 70s.
It's the 70s.
Better Help didn't exist.
Which,
you know?
and honestly, for that era, I'm actually proud of them for
actually they do talk it out while they're in the ring. So
and
I'll give it to them.
Expressing themselves in a because like most fathers in that area, I feel in that era were would just hit their kids and not talk about shit.
Totally, and the fact that they like had this arrangement where when they were in the ring they were sort of equals.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Not a family therapist, but
I'll at least for the context of the movie I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
And so of course Sam shows up. Shows up in her
hot blonde
destroyed Beetle. And she arrives with her destroyed Beetle and she's only on 3 tires because the 4th is totally flat and missing in action. And this is my first editing irritation.
Okay.
They're talking to her. She's down by the car.
Yeah.
In this conversation, Jim is like, oh God, what did I get myself into with this intern
she's a hot girl.
Hot girl. And I've got Bo here. My God,
my horn dog of a son is
and she
gonna
seems like maybe kind of an airhead. We don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
And so he eventually walks out of the ring. Cuts back to Bo, and Sam is standing literally 6 inches away from him in the ring. I'm like, it was like a jump scare. Like I wasn't ready for her to go from 10 yards away to being in the ring without a little. It wasn't necessarily like an actual editing error. It just felt weird to me. Like the timing, it felt kind of
how did she get there so fast?
Yeah, exactly.
Is she fucking magical?
I think she is. Yes, must be.
She must be.
She must be. I don't know what else.
I mean, she's the hot blonde girl.
She's the hot blonde girl.
So
it's got to be a thing.
She's got to be magical.
100%. Ugh. Cuts back to the to Alan Rickman talking to the deputy whatever, and he's like, I prefer them young. And I'm like, no.
Oh wait, he's a politician. And he's French.
Par for the course.
So,
yeah.
Not that surprised.
And they come back and they talk about Bottle Shock. And I'm like, they said the name of the movie. And I do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme again. And at this point, I'm still not positive who Sam is. I was like, what's your deal? And then
why are you here?
Literally, I didn't know who Sam was until I said it out loud and you explained it to me.
Yeah.
That was kind of my other complaint is I was like, she wasn't adequately
explained.
To me, the dialogue wasn't good enough to explain why she was there and why she stayed. It was a little it didn't.
If there had been do you want to fight? Yeah, we got to make this quick because I'm expecting the new intern.
Right. Even
there
a
you
line.
go.
Yeah, just one line to kind of understand her arrival, any of that. It was, I'm like, yeah, there's the difference between letting your audience get there versus not explaining anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy and be picky, but that was irritating to me.
Explain a little.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Right. He dials the phone with his penis. Mike McManus, 2025. He's dying. I don't know. Something about fat fingering phone.
Joe was the bartender at the local, greasy spoon dive. Was like, oh, did you break your dialing finger or
your fat dialing finger?
Your fat dialing finger?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, the fat dialing finger is his penis.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. No notes.
It gives the impression that he has, kind of fucked his way around this community.
Right. Exactly.
Around all of the young eligible women in this community, and probably some of the older ones too.
Yep. Oh yeah, knowing him, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Gustavo, we learn more about him. I enjoy him as a character a lot.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's like an element of like the mystical Hispanic man energy going on.
Yeah. The mystical minority.
Yeah, that was sort of the vibe. I'm like, that's new. I haven't seen that with the Hispanic man yet, so that's kind of fun. Everyone gets their chance, I guess. And then we cut directly into Alan Rickman's AMC Gremlin, as referenced earlier. I love that car. I want that car.
It's a little yellow Gremlin with some black racing stripes. And
I love it. I literally am smitten by
every
this
time it was on screen.
Car.
That's the only thing Ian was looking at.
Yeah, I was like,
it's literally just like love at first sight.
It was amazing. During the whole movie, there was a weird reverb of all the diegetic audio. Anything that was shot on set, there was like this like kind of weird plate reverb sound on all like. I think the places was the most obvious was people like walking on gravel.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It was this kind of like this weird noise, and I don't know if that was actually from the movie like itself, or it came from like the transfer to digital or something, or the transfer to like Peacock, wherever we watched it. Either way, it happened enough that it was distracting and it irritated me. But that's my own problem.
That's audio guy issues.
That's audio guy problems. Yeah, that's me. So then we've got Alan Rickman going around and tasting all these different Napa Valley wines, and he goes in and he leaves and it's like, you took money for a tasting. all these Napa Valley wineries just
yeah, they never like, that must be an American thing, because I mean,
yeah,
like just to highlight that divide again, between the French wineries that definitely would charge for a tasting versus like an American winery where it's this small farm community that where everybody knows everybody, so they're just like, yeah, come on, you want to try my wine? Awesome, great. Maybe you'll buy a bottle, maybe you won't, I don't care. Right.
And now it's like, having been to Napa Valley for the first and only time in December, it was there is an element of it was very pretentious now when you go in, very pretentious, and you could do different tasting experiences. Yeah. Right. That was the whole thing too. But it was great. It was what we ended up doing at everywhere that we went, we all agreed that it was actually, because you could either do a tasting experience or you could just buy a bottle of wine.
Yeah, and drink it on property.
Right. And so in both, like, we went to two different places. One place also grew olives, and that was that was really good.
I'm not an olive person, but
that's right. But they had olive oil.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the wine. Remember, so we got a wine in both places. We just bought a bottle and then just split it between all five of us in both situations. And my God, the wine was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good. Anyway, yeah, it was super fun. Oops, only Doobie Brothers. It just keeps coming back.
I swear to God, every song with lyrics in this movie was Doobie Brothers.
Truly. I don't know the context of this one. No, you're doing great. I don't remember what that was from. I don't remember.
Damn, I don't know.
Nah, it's fine. Do you have any ambition at all? I think that that was referring to Jim.
Yeah. To Jim Tabot.
Jim Tabot. Was that Jim Tabot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what are you doing
with your life?
Your life, you're doinking your way through Napa.
All of Napa Valley.
You helped me out on the winery, on the vineyard, but like,
what are you trying to do with your life?
You don't, like, you didn't go to college, you didn't,
Right.
Like, what the hell is going on? Like, where are you going with your life?
Right. And then Bo's like, you want to fight? Like, they're fighting about, the wine being I don't know.
No, this is where he's like, Jim is like, you need to get your shit together or you're out of here.
You're out of here. Right.
Because we get the impression that it's been years of Beau kind of just bumming around the winery and kind of living the free love, hippie kind of life without any sort of real responsibility. And his dad's just like, I have all this other stress because I have all these loans from the bank and I'm trying to make this wine and like as best I can. And I haven't been making money. So I am broke and I can't keep supporting my, layabout son who, I mean, yes, helps at the winery, but also like, has no real drive, no real ambition. And I get that.
Right. No, 100%. In fact, my next note was, man goes to Woodstock and makes it his whole brand. Which I feel like that was sort of implied that Beau went to Woodstock. Do you get that vibe? Because I kind of got that vibe.
I mean, Jim brings up Woodstock was 7 years ago.
Yeah, but like, if the man was like 28, he would have been 21.
Yeah. I mean, he could have.
That's kind of the vibe I got. Like, to me, it felt like it was sort of an impetus for Beau. Like, he changed his whole being when he went. He
started working at the winery out of high school.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't really have any context for how long Beau has been hanging out with his dad at the winery, at the vineyard.
It doesn't. I can't confirm that he. Anyway, moral of the story. That was the vibe. It did feel like they were sort of halfway implying that he went to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Because that was like, it felt relevant to him.
Woodstock was a huge cultural touchstone for that generation. Like the boomer generation.
100%.
Like,
yeah.
Huge. Like, yeah. If you weren't at Woodstock, you wanted to be.
Some of them still won't get vaccinated.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, sorry.
But anyway.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
So, I mean, it could have just been an offhand reference to, this.
Right.
This, big thing that was all about free love and music and all the hippie, credo, I guess.
Right. That was definitely like what Beau was trying to embrace. You could tell. Yeah. Either way. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I love that. So Sam goes out and tries Gustavo's secret wine and just immediately jumps his bones. Like, no, tries wine, jumps bones. No questions asked. We assume. We don't know that. We don't know that for sure. Same. Would also jump bones.
Also do the same.
Amazing.
If you make that good of wine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We jump back over to Jim, who's talking about, you can't be too nice to the grapes. I'm like, are you talking about the grapes? Or are you talking about your son?
Ooh.
I'm like, to me, it felt like he was talking about his son.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Because he was like, you want to like overwater. Like, comfy vine doesn't make good fruit, whatever. And to me, it's like he was mulling over this concept of like, was he too nice to his son? That was the vibe I got of that conversation.
Or kind of coming down on himself, being like, I have been.
Oh my God, Jim coming down on himself? Like, that's shocking. That's all he ever fucking does this movie.
He's like, I have overwatered and over fertilized
my son.
I've made my son's life really easy.
Right.
Because before this, he was a lawyer and,
a lawyer.
And they had, they apparently had enough money for him to buy a fucking vineyard in California. And so
lawyers, it's weird. Like, lawyers are one of those weird professions where you either are like a normal person,
a ton of money or no money.
Right. Like, it's crazy. Like, we've got, like, for example, have you been to Glen Sheen Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay. Chester Congdon.
Yeah.
Was the lawyer for what became U.S. Steel.
Yeah.
Like, he started with like one of these other like smaller steel companies.
And then just
moved up. And like, he built Glen Sheen with that money. Like, that is
Lake Superior property
in the late 1800s,
huge ass house,
early 1900s. That house, if you adjusted for inflation, was like $30 million.
Something like that.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's priceless. Like, there's not like a way to like.
God, it's so
like
gorgeous.
Have you been to the attic in there?
No.
So the attic, like, you look, it's just made of I-beams and concrete. The house is literally like
Jesus.
it could survive a fucking nuclear winter. That house.
Awesome.
Crazy.
I know where I'm going when that
Right.
eventually happens.
Like that breakfast nook, my God. That
the
house,
tile?
yes, those tiles are adjusted
They're
for
like-
inflation are each $200
Good
today.
Lord.
Each of those tiles.
Well, and each one don't they have like a fucking number
Unique
on
serial
the
number
back?
on each of them. Yes.
That is insane.
Yeah. Okay. So
And they're painted in this like gorgeous iridescent like teal.
this like green teal like
I
interacts
can't.
with the sunlight so well.
Can't get enough of it.
Moral of the story.
Anyway.
If you, statistically, if you listen to this podcast, you probably live in Minnesota or in the Midwest. And if you do, you are missing out by not touring Glen Sheen at some point. It is it is one of the most, it is the premier museum house of the Midwest, probably the country. Just do it. You won't regret it.
My great aunt had one of her high school reunions at
Neat.
Glen Sheen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think it was her like 20th or 30th. I don't know. I can't remember.
I love Glen. Yeah,
But yeah, I have a lot of like a bunch of my family comes from Duluth, so
Sure,
I actually remember, I think we were going up there and we saw a billboard for it, and my grandma actually told me the story.
Oh, really? Like
on the car ride,
murder
like
story?
the murder story.
Oh my God, that is crazy too.
in a
toned down
grandma kind of way.
Yeah. So that's the other thing about Glen Sheen, if you don't know, because I went a few weeks ago.
Nice.
With my brother and sister-in-law. We went.
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
yeah,
went
yeah.
for a weekend. And it'd been maybe a year or two since I'd been. And my sister-in-law, love her. She has been going to Grand Marais most of her life because
Has never
her
been to Duluth.
never been to Glen Sheen.
Yikes.
And I'm like, and so we're like in the middle of touring this house. And I'm like, well, and that was like, and like I think that was like, and I was just like talking to Jack, we were talking about like vaguely about the murders.
Yeah.
And Sophie goes, wait,
The
there
what
was
now?
a murder here? I'm like, that's why it's so famous.
That's literally the reason why it's on
That's
the
like
map.
why everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was kind of fun. Now, even without, you could go in and tour it. Sophie was having a great time and had no idea that there was a murder there for like a good portion of it.
I love that for you, Sophie.
It's an awesome house.
It is a really
worth
cool
seeing.
house.
The property is beautiful. It's right on the water.
Yeah.
Lake Superior is
So pretty.
one of the coolest bodies of water you can ever see. I mean that literally because it's cold as fuck.
Yeah, it is cold as shit.
And if you die in there, your body's just it's gonna be totally preserved and just stay at the bottom.
It's a really good place to dump
It's
a body.
it isn't because if everyone ever finds it, like they're just the body's in perfectly good shape. It's like a
but all the
morgue fridge
DNA
down
evidence
there.
is
Down
rushed
there.
away.
No.
What?
If it's the body, like if anything's in, like it's like the body is preserved down there.
I guess it's kind of like flash freezing.
Yeah.
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 Yikes.
Basically, everyone says it's like a hermetically sealed.
Like cryogenically frozen sort of situation.
It's more like a morgue freezer.
That's
like
really
like a morgue drawer. You know, it's like that, but
That's
you're
so cool.
sealed up. It's so cool. It's morbid as shit.
I
but
love living where I live.
I know.
It's
I love
awesome.
Minnesota. It's such a cool.
Anyway,
city.
what the fuck were we talking about?
I know. Did you know we were actually talking about California wine?
Yeah.
Amazing. Alan Rickman eating KFC was
and like
amazing.
kind of like questioning the KFC, like
As
looking
he
at it,
should.
looking at it like, what the fuck did I order?
Is this what I meant to
What
order?
is this?
Like,
And
what
then
is
he
this?
like bites into it and is like, oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
It's pretty good.
All right. And then who was it that was talking about I think it was Alan Rickman talking about the like going to like the vineyards.
Yeah.
And talking about inhaling birth.
Yeah.
And we both at the same time went, ugh.
He does start that monologue with a really poetic line from,
I didn't write that part down.
I think it was Aristotle.
Okay.
It was, wine is water held together by sunlight.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that's a really cool line.
Yeah.
And then he talks about kind of the smell of the vineyards and it's like inhaling birth, and that was kind of weird, but I've never experienced it. I've never been to Napa.
Right.
It's on my bucket list.
Right. Right.
But
it's different. It's very different.
But the the appreciation of wine, I think in this case transcends the ethnicity. It transcends country. It's more of a unifying element.
It is, and I think that this movie was trying to show, even though it was an abundance of white people, it was trying to show
an abundance of white.
Welcome to California.
Yeah.
It was definitely showing a sense that, like, hey, this is a thing that a lot of people care about.
Yeah.
Like, this can be a unifying, binding thing, and I think that that's true of. I think it's a fun exercise in a lot of people's fandoms, right? Like, not just wine. It could be cars. It can be
everything.
Your favorite video game. It can be whatever.
Sports teams. Your race car drivers. Whatever.
You don't have to be. There is oftentimes sort of an ethnicity or a socioeconomic standing that kind of comes along with that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie was sort of trying to prove, and it showed a real inflection point in that widening.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I mean, slight tangent. I've never taken offense to the word nerd.
Same.
Because I like what I like.
Same.
And I have no shame in it. I am who I am. If you don't like it, fuck you. Right. But also, like, everyone is a nerd about something.
Agreed.
You can be a nerd about sports. You can be a nerd about the gym. You can be a nerd about, rock climbing and all the, you can be a nerd about space, about rocks,
cars,
about literally anything. Like, so I've never taken offense to that term.
No, I agree.
Like,
I had that. It's funny you say that because I had a conversation with some people at work, and I work with people in varying age brackets, right? And one of the people I was talking to, I don't know how much older than me she is, a colleague of mine, but she basically was like, am I a nerd? Like, she kind of has that preconceived, like, 1980s sense that nerd is like a pejorative.
A bad thing.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I've never really felt that way. Like, I've always been nerdy about the things I've been nerdy about. Like, I love theater. I love transportation. I love cars. I love Disney World. I have the things that I'm nerdy about.
Yeah.
And, like, just like theme parks and just like stuff, technology, like all these things are true for me. I don't find that to be, you don't have to like the things I'm nerdy about.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to, I'm not going to distance myself from being the term nerd.
Yeah.
And, being a wine nerd is a thing.
And being a wine nerd is...
That's what all these fuckers were.
Absolutely a
wine
thing.
Nerds. So we're continuing on the Alan Rickman tour to Napa Valley. And he stops at one of the places and is sipping a glass of wine. And the guy brings him that thing of guac. My God, that guac looks so good.
That was like some chef level food porn.
That was like, my God, I should be. Yeah. Oh my God, now I need to watch Chef again.
Yeah, right.
So much.
Oh, it's so good.
But that was pretty funny. I'm like that. I just wrote in all caps that guac looks so good. That
guac looks so good. It was in like one of those like lava stone bowls too, so it's authentic AF. It's
someone
just
it looked so
it's like
good.
Someone's family recipe that's been handed down through 12 generations. I'm like, I want
someone's
to taste.
abuela made that for like since like it looked amazing.
The dawn of fucking time.
Truly.
Ugh, I love guac.
Same. A good guac.
And Aaron hates avocado.
No, because like the best guacs have like a little bit of lime on them too.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. All right.
Or like the hint of lime chips.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway,
we're fine.
I'm not hungry, but like, damn,
I would eat guac.
I could go for some.
Like,
guac.
I'm totally full. Like, we literally had like Italian, and
delicious Italiano.
We made Italiano for you, Kevin. I'm looking at you. Did we ever tell that story about Kevin and
making Italiano dressed as?
But my favorite part of that whole story is we arrive at Kevin's house.
Yeah.
By the way, there is like a Patreon exclusive someday for this.
Yeah.
But we went to watch the first Twilight movie. Megan and I had neither of us had never seen it. And we get to Kevin's house. Kevin and Saber had graciously hosted a group viewing. We arrive. He shows up in like a turtleneck and like walks in. He's like, "Hello, I've made Italiano for you." And we just look at him blankly.
We're like, "What?"
And he literally just goes, "Wait, you haven't seen the movie yet. You'll have to get it later." And like, did you? I'm like, wait.
Some of the people there had seen it.
Right.
And like, we were the two that
hadn't. And so he was like tarting this joke at us, and we were just like, and he's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Did you make a joke that makes sense after we've seen the movie that we are going to see that we haven't seen yet?" It's so classic.
Kevin,
it's amazing.
I love
Kevin, love you. Anyway, it was a good time. It was a
really good time.
And Alan Rickman, because I'm British and you're not.
Well, he says, "It's because you think I'm an asshole, and I'm not really. It's just I'm British and you're not." So,
which is so good.
And I'm like, I guarantee that line is the reason Aaron likes this movie so much.
Probably that makes sense.
Which is funny because I watched this before I ever went to England, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I love the Brits. I think that
I'm
mostly,
Aaron and you're not.
I mean, I think that mostly goes for kind of more London-based Brits, because all of the Yorkshire people I met were just delightful.
Sure.
Or maybe they were insulting me the whole time and I didn't even know.
That's okay.
Because I was just so excited. I don't know.
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here, guys. I love it.
I got kind of irritated by Beau's like obsession about who Sam slept with. That got irritating. I'm like, you guys don't have like an actual relationship, or if you did, this movie did a bad job of explaining it. I was gonna say,
and that I think is kind of another failing of the script, is like, that makes it seem like he feels entitled to her because she's working for his dad, and that's kind of gross.
It's gross, but I don't.
I can also see like some scenes of theirs like actually connecting, falling to the cutting room floor.
But yeah, and that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, to me, it felt like it wasn't, because I don't think, certainly Chris Pine did not play that character as being a misogynistic asshole. No. So that's why all those kinds of interactions feel especially weird to me. And it does feel like something was lost in translation with that. Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, we don't really get a solo scene of the two of them together, I don't think, until after this, because they go to the bar with Gustavo.
Right.
I don't know.
Yep. No, I agree.
It seemed kind of out of nowhere.
It did.
From his perspective, or from an outside perspective.
It felt underdeveloped and weirdly prioritized. I love that the owner of the vineyard that Gustavo has his grapes at, or is making his wine at, just has the opera playing under as they like argue about shit. Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. TWA. I love a good. Honestly, it's annoying how much this movie got me on like retro aircraft.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, like retro aircraft and
retro transportation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It got me good. It's very,
and
very
the TWA, like, just the customer service agent, just with the fake plastic smile on her face the whole time.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
That's so good.
Welcome to TWA. How can I help you?
It's
with that sing-songy customer service voice. You know, she goes home at night and she's like, "Oh, I fucking hate everything."
So good.
And just like chain smokes in her shitty apartment.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway,
100%.
I'm gonna write fan fiction about her.
Please do. I would read it. Resurrect your frickin' fandom account. No, what is it? Fanfic account. Amazing.
I have a Tumblr account. That's where I post stuff.
Oh, well, I guess I need to refollow you on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Because I had to get a new account. Anyway. Moving on.
Although my name there isn't as good as my name on fanfic.
That's true. Your fanfic name on fanfic.net was really good.
Really good.
Yeah, that was a good name.
I came up with it when I was like 14.
Of course you did.
Anyway.
Because that's when we met.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think I was actually like 12 or 13. I don't know. Anyway.
Wow.
We don't need to talk about my fan fiction anymore.
I hold it over her. I know the secret.
Which, like, I kind of want to eventually write a novel that gets famous enough to where people start thinking like, and like hint that I have a fanfic account, or like that I have like a Tumblr, and they make,
right.
And they try to find it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Anyway.
I love that. I'd love to be like famous enough that something that people just like find my photography. That'd be fun. Like I'd love that. Bill Pullman once again being like, I'm sad and I don't deserve anything. It's like, well, of course you don't, because you're being a little whiny asshole about it. He's not letting Bo give any wine to the guy. Just to Steven, like he
self-sabotages.
He does,
like, super hard.
A lot. I'm like, wow, call me out. Why don't you? No.
So he doesn't want to give bottles to Alan Rickman to bring back to France because he's convinced he'll lose.
Right.
He's convinced that they just want to make fun of America.
Right.
And I can see that being a legit reason, but it's like, in the context of the later scene where he's like literally depressed and drinking amongst all of the spread out bottles.
Right.
I think he's kind of afraid of his own success.
Yeah. He doesn't want the success. He's just scared of what that would mean.
He's just afraid of like, I don't know. He's afraid of success. He's afraid of actually doing the thing that he wants to do, like having the thing that he wants
at the same time
happen.
Right.
And I've done that too.
Yeah. No, same. Big same. I think by the time before he's laying in the, he sees that it's brown.
Yeah.
Before that, he was definitely like, then I thought he was definitely like sabotaging a potential success.
Yeah.
He was afraid of putting eyes on his creation.
Yeah.
And it's like, but my note was literally like, Bill, no publicity is bad publicity in this kind of scenario. Like, if somebody gives you notoriety, like, they'll buy it.
Especially if you're financially in major financial trouble, because he's got, multiple loans at the bank, and he, he can't, I don't know. It's like, I think I said it during the screening, but he's a good winemaker, but he's a bad businessman.
Agreed.
If you were in I'm putting myself in there, but like, if I was in that situation, I would be desperately getting my bottles out anywhere I can.
To see it, right. And that was the thing, is like, he was like holding all these bottles, holding on to them because he was too scared to let them go.
Yeah.
Which, like, as a business person, like, I definitely have a business Ian, but a lot of the things that I'm the most passionate about, I like don't want to cross over into business.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to see what people see in it. Like, I don't want to see other people's opinion of that thing. And I get that. Like, I definitely get that. This podcast is fucking hard because of that.
Yeah.
Because this is the closest thing to me that I've ever put out before.
Yeah.
Everything else I do is usually on behalf of somebody else. So the idea of having that, like, I could see why he would be nervous about letting someone, especially who is notably a critic, taking it and putting it into like a high,
he doesn't like. He calls him a snob,
mistrusts him on it. Yeah. I agree. It's very interesting. I also really enjoy the irony of the wine is brown because it's too perfect.
It's failing so hard you succeed.
Right. Or succeeding so hard you fail in this case. But and ultimately not really a failure because it still tastes good.
Yeah.
But like the idea that
the conception, he thinks he failed.
He thinks he failed because
even though he's done all of this stuff pretty much perfectly, he thinks he's failed. He thinks, I got to go back and get my job as a lawyer because I can't make money otherwise. I blew it.
Yeah.
I suck. I am the worst. I'm just gonna drink this delicious wine that is just unfortunately brown. And
the wine is unnaturally brown. Yeah. No, exactly. I just enjoy the irony of achieving perfection and achieving perfection so well that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a thing that is very easy to do, frankly.
But only temporarily wrong.
But you made that snap judgment in the wrong time and almost sent away an amazing...
You should have slept on it.
Yeah.
Take a look at it's the same with like writing. You write something, You think it's absolute shit. You don't feel good about it. Put it down. Walk away. Go for a walk. Go to bed. Just
it's a great
come back to it later.
It's a great way to approach any creative pursuit.
Yeah.
You just can't, just because something is bugging you right now and it feels like existential, it feels like the end of the world, it feels bad. Don't let that be the thing that don't let your decision in that moment be the thing that determines your entire trajectory with that piece of art. I agree.
I go to the Eddie Izzard bit where it's like, and Hitler was a painter, and he's like, I can't get the damn trees. Damn, I will kill everyone in Savannah.
Yeah, it's literally that.
It's
like,
that.
It's a real, you can really fuck yourself over.
Yeah.
And something that is actually awesome if you overthink what it is and instead focus on what it isn't.
Yeah.
And I think that if nothing else, I think that's what this movie does really well, is it really shows the sense of like, you've got something here. Don't just throw something away in a snap judgment because you feel bad about something in the moment.
Yeah.
There's always a spin, especially if you've sunk a bunch of resources into it. You've got a lot of people that are working with you.
Time, and you have staff and who believe in you, who support you. You have a community that you can lean on, and
all these people care about each other.
Honestly, if he had been the one to, or like if another winemaker had come by and been like, hey, what's up? Oh, my wine's brown. Oh, I've heard about that happening. Like something like that.
We know that Jim is kind of a perfectionist. Like, let it air out for a second. You know, just, I don't know. Like it is.
Or like, hey, you want to go get drunk at the bar? Like, let's just leave that for tomorrow.
Right.
I'm a big proponent of, okay, everything sucks. Take a beat. Take a minute.
Right.
Go circle the block.
Right.
Do whatever you have to do. Get out of that situation. Calm yourself down.
Get into a different headspace. And reapproach.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a thing that I have had to learn as an adult.
Yeah.
And it definitely changed how I feel about stuff.
Therapy.
Yeah. Agreed.
For those of you who can't see us, which is everyone, I did jazz hands for therapy because
that's how we roll here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We support that. Only two places to go in this community: UC Davis or San Francisco.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that the bartender bought their wine.
Yeah.
I love that she just was like, no, that can't go to.
Yeah.
No, we're not letting that happen.
She's like, yeah, if you guys, I'll recycle the bottles, all in the name of ecology.
Right.
I'm a big recycler, so I'm just gonna buy. And she probably got such a good fucking deal on that wine. And then literally, because she bought all of it. It was 500 cases
of wine.
And then it goes and wins. Spoiler alert. It wins against French wines, and everyone starts clamoring for it in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles and all over the country. She probably made
had all
fucking
of it.
bank.
Oh my god.
She made bank off of it.
Though canonically in the story, she just said, "Leave me a case."
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
they took it all back, which seems unfair. I feel like they probably paid her more than that.
I would have sold it back to him,
right?
But I also would have been like, well, and this was before it won, so
right.
She didn't know it was gonna win. Nobody knew it was gonna win.
Right.
So I get the leave me the case bit, but also like, I'll maybe hold on to maybe 10 cases.
Right.
Like 60 bottles.
Right.
Or 120 bottles. Right. Something like that.
Just keep that around. That'd be nice.
Just hang on to that.
Yeah, I could sell that for some shit.
Especially in a couple months when it wins.
And the fact that I was the only one that fucking... I own the entire supply. Like, that just seems like, whatever. You guys practically gave it away.
Yeah.
I'm pro Marge. She was the one at the secretary assistant or whatever at the law firm. Love her.
Yeah.
She was that lady knew how to drink wine. Appreciate her. And I'm like, I feel a little irritated that not until the post credits did they really acknowledge like the fact that like they kind of buried Gustavo's plot.
Yeah.
He had his like other wine. Like, why would we focus on that too? Like I found it weird.
It was a subplot that felt kind of tacked on. Like it.
Yeah.
I wanted more of it.
Right.
I wanted to see.
I
wanted to see the second tasting.
Right.
Like, if Gustavo's wine was in the tasting, where did it place?
Right.
And if it didn't place, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that might be why they didn't include it.
Maybe.
Because it didn't place.
But then if it didn't, then they kind of, I don't know, but they put a lot of emphasis on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I struggled with the amount of emphasis they placed on it in the plot, and then kind of did nothing with
payoff.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Just especially that I cared about Gustavo as a character.
Like one sentence.
Right.
At the end. And it was like, and Gustavo has his own winery, Gustavo Trace, and
right. It's like, that's great, but like they should have almost shown that visually, because it would have helped me.
Like a nice drone shot.
He should have at least
Gustavo's.
said, or he should have even at least said in something at the end, being like, so and so about my wine, like some other thing to show why he was going to advance. Like it just, that plot line just stopped.
I sold all the cases of my wine to
so and so in San Francisco, and they're going to fund me, or like something like to show more plot, or show some sense of resolution that happened in the same way that all the white people got on theirs.
Yeah.
Even a modicum of proximity. Like it was just, it felt like he became a plot on, like, in despite of the white people's plot. Like, I don't know. It was, that to me was like my one kind of like, why would you do that? Like, just throw a little more resolution in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Justice for Gustavo.
Vote for Gustavo. Okay. Let's rate this thing.
Let's do it.
All right. Our first item is production design. We already know how I feel about the TWA and Cars. So I'm willing to give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I think, and the costuming.
Yeah, I think
was really on point.
Everything but the audio pretty much slapped.
Yeah.
Especially for kind of a semi-indie production. I think it was pretty good.
Super indie.
And it felt very Napa Valley to me. Like it felt like color-wise, like it had the right energy. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The 0.5 is solely because the audio bugged me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Story rating.
I'd go 3.5.
Okay.
Like, I want to rate it higher.
I don't think I could.
But like the Gustavo not having his payoff.
Yeah.
The kind of shoehorned love story.
Yeah.
It gives me pause, you know?
Yeah, the shoehorned love story, Gustavo, the sort of kind of jerky movement with the plot, and where it starts and ends to me is kind of odd. I feel like there was a all the payoffs feel wrong. Like nothing feels like it's in the right spot.
Yeah.
That was kind of where I ran into a lot of troubles. And in fact, I know this is going to be awful for everyone, but I kind of want to drop it to a 3.
You can drop it to a 3.
Because I think that I just really struggled with the script really felt lacking to me. Like in like just a format, like, and all the actors did a good job.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, don't get me wrong. Like it wasn't like it was a bad movie,
like,
and I do recommend it.
They needed a script editor.
Yeah.
Like they needed Carrie Fisher to take a look at this thing
Literally.
and be like, okay, this makes no sense here. Let's put this here. Let's nix this whole thing entirely.
Right.
The reason I think the love story was shoehorned in is because that's actually the woman he ended up marrying. Her name wasn't Sam.
Okay.
It was Heidi, and they are still married.
Okay.
So I mean,
yeah, it was
probably like a less of a creative choice, more of a this guy is giving us some money to make his life
story. Yeah. And I
don't actually know if that's true, but I can see it happening.
Describing it that way kind of makes the way the script was written make more sense.
Yeah.
Because it didn't do a good job of, I don't know, it just like time and space felt distorted and didn't flow naturally, and that was, I think, my biggest complaint. It wasn't like a dialogue problem.
No.
It wasn't a problem with anything specific. It was just, to your point, it needed a script editor. It needed someone to go through and just rethink some of that, and some of that could have been maybe fixed in the edit, but if they didn't shoot it, you can't create what doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that was I think my biggest downside with this whole thing. It was a really good production that was just lacking a script.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Performances, I want to give it like a 4.5.
Yeah.
I think everyone was really good. No one sucked. Everyone committed to the role well. I believe everyone's believable.
Even all the side characters, farmers, those, wine Alan Rickman was tasting.
Like
they were all really good.
All committed to the bit.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, honestly. It was super fun. And Alan Rickman, amazing.
Oh God.
Amazing
So
that he did this fun little film. Like, it's such a cool thing to see him do. Bill Pullman was fun.
When you've got, Harry Potter money,
right,
burning a hole in your pocket, you can do fun little
fun little one-off stuff. Bill Pullman was fun. Young Chris Pine was fun to see. He's fun. I enjoy him a lot. Actually,
I'm gonna place this movie on the timeline
chronology.
of his career.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure Star Trek was 2009.
Oh, so this is like right at the beginning of his kind of rise to stardom.
Well, and he was in a couple weird rom-coms in the mid-aughts. Okay, filmography. Chris Pine. His first role was on ER for one episode. Did a bunch of TV. Oh, that's what it was. His first big role was The Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. He plays the love interest, and that was 2004.
Okay.
So this was early-ish.
But it was before some of his big stuff.
Yeah, and then he was in a movie with Lindsay Lohan called Just My Luck in 2006.
Okay.
Smokin' Aces, which I want to say was a Guy Ritchie. Oh, Joe Carnahan. I don't fucking know. But yeah, Bottle Shock, and then Star Trek in 2009.
Okay.
Which really kind of solidified him as a Hollywood dude.
Yep.
And yeah, he's been a bunch of shit.
Nice.
Which, good for him. Oh, he was the voice of Jack Frost in Rise of the Guardians.
Oh, there you go.
And then, Kirk.
Right.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. So, okay, last one is cultural impact.
I want to give it a 3 because it's
do much
a tiny. It had a $5 million budget and didn't make it back in the box office.
Right.
It made 4.6 or 4.2, something like that. So
there's a few people, namely your husband, it was important to, and I don't think it made much of a splash.
Pretty
anywhere
much
else.
Wasn't really. It was a tiny little indie movie that, didn't really move the needle one way or the other. Probably educated some people like myself.
Right.
About wine and Napa and kind of the history there. But yeah, didn't really.
I'm kind of mad. So you just rated it under Scrooged.
Maybe a 3.5 for cultural impact.
Yep. That puts it at a 3.9.
Okay.
Which puts it just above Fight Club, but underneath 16 Candles.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. That's significantly less. I don't like it right there. I enjoyed myself a little too much for that. And you may be asking, listener, do you guys use your cultural impact as your way to fudge it? Yes.
Yes.
We 100% do that.
Because that's kind of the murkiest
one we can possibly do.
The murkiest category
and
here.
I think that at the very least it didn't cause active trouble, so
God, no.
I'm gonna say that I'm fine with that.
Chris Pine went on to have an illustrious and varied career.
Yeah, and he's one of the least problematic Chris's, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And we love that for him.
He dresses like an old man, and I love it.
I love that. If I was Chris Pine, I would also dress like an old man.
Yeah.
It'd be great. All right. Well, with that being said, we got 3.9. A delightful little film.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed myself, despite its faults. I think I will be watching it again sometime because there's very little to be like. It's not intense. Like you can just kind of watch it. So I was gonna say
it's a good background movie for if you're doing crafts or something.
Right.
Speaking from experience.
Nice.
It's a fun, quirky little indie film that not a lot of people have seen. But has some really great actors.
Yeah.
A pretty interesting concept. You know, because I'd never heard of the Judgement of Paris.
Right.
Which is what the wine tasting
world
was
called.
Calls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy it.
Nice.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, I definitely did. It was a good experience, a good little fun little romp. And I love those. So
I love a fun little romp.
Right. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Film School Slacker. I'm Ian.
I'm Megan.
We will see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Film School Slacker. Our graphic design is by Mitch Ransdell. Music by Ariel Shalom and Ziv Moran. Voiceover audio provided by Mike D and Janet Paoni. Learn more at filmschoolslacker.com.